Nation. And then we got $7.77 from That's a New One that says, "Hey Presentia, what do you call a country of sword fight miming canines? The pretend what? The pretend fencer hound nation." Oh god. We got $20 from Anonymous that says, "Here's a mercy killing 2016 by drowning it in a river. Save the animals." We got $10 from Gaku that says, "Hey Presentia, how good is this game? It's awesome." I'll use my bad joke to save the animals. We got $5 from Gavin Starr that says, "Hopefully donating to the right block this time. I hope you have a possum run." Alrighty, we got $10 from Earfolds that says, "Hey Presentia, what's it called when the wolf wakes his girlfriend up with a howl?" Outrakening. I'd like to give a quick shout out to one of our official Games Done Quick sponsors, the Yeti. The Yeti has been supporting us for a very long time, since 2012, and in celebration of providing shirts for their 10th Games Done Quick event, the Yeti has increased their shirt donation amount to from $3 to $4, so make sure to get those shirts. They are available online on the Yeti's website, theyeti.com/AGDQ. We got $10 from Samurai159 that says, "I accept your challenge and donate for the first time since watching AGDQ or SGDQ. I'm excited to watch all these runs, whether it be listening to them while sleeping or having them in the background. Save those frames." We got $5 from M that says, "Been watching a few years now and first time donating. Thanks for all the entertainment. Also, sleep deprivation." We got $5 from Kiwi Jones that says, "I've donated plenty of times before, but heck, you guys are keeping a smile on my face despite being sick as a dog. This awful block is glorious. Thanks, guys. Put my money to saving the animals." Thank you for that. We got $5 from Trista that says, "Greetings from the Philippines. First time donator, long time watcher. Just would like to donate during my favorite block of AGDQ. When I was a kid, I had no choice but to play all these awful games my dad bought me. Cheers to the runners." We got $10 from Jerisu that says, "I just came home from work and what a game I come back to. Janky stuff like this is what I live for when GDQ marathons come around. Money goes to Runner's Choice." We got $10 from Danimals that says, "Thanks to insomnia, I'm always awake at this insane time of day, so I figured I should do something productive, like stopping cancer. Money goes to Announcer's Choice." We got $15 from Jowdown that says, "I love watching GDQ streams. I book time off of work every year just to watch both AGDQ and SGDQ. Here's my $15 donation. Please put it towards the Announcer's Choice." And with that, I think we are ready to hand it over to Dr. T Chops.
Alrighty, so I'm good to go. Just give you a quick countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so everybody, welcome to The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker HD XD. No, wait, hold on. No, that's not right. No, this is Dark Souls 4. No, that's not right either. This is Cornerstone, the Song of Tyrim, which was advertised on the Kickstarter as Wind Waker meets Dark Souls, and as you'll see, that's entirely accurate.
Absolutely.
So, just like Dark Souls, this has a save slot system where, like, whenever you quit out, you're load back in exactly in the same place. But if you roll and you quit out, when you load back in, you spawn in a default position on the island. So there, I just quit out while rolling, and I completely skip over the tutorial. And also, just like Dark Souls, if you hug a sheep really hard, then you go flying. But you have to really like the sheep, like that.
What a nice sheep.
I didn't quite get enough.
Oh, dear.
I didn't love that sheep enough, unfortunately. So, line this up a little better. There we go.
That's enough love.
There we go. And bird nests also need love. There's no need to discriminate. So I'm going to use that one to go over hello. It also likes to eat inputs, just like Dark Souls. Oh my god, please do what I want. There we go. Oh, bonked my head. Let's just set this up again. And there we go. Alright, so I go over here, open this chest. This gives me the blueprints for the hang glider, because just like Wind Waker, it has a crafting system. And take some damage, because I'll death warp. Talk to this woman to open up a doorway here. So the goal of this first island is to get into the end dungeon, and at the end of the dungeon there's a blueprint for a raft, so you can leave. But conveniently there's a shortcut here, and you can just hit the lever through the wall and go directly into the back of the dungeon. And now I have the blueprint raft, or the raft blueprint rather. And this is kind of an inconvenient place, so I'm going to death warp, which puts me to the front of the dungeon. And now I can leave. And even though I never actually opened up the dungeon, it's completely sealed by a big rock, I can still leave. And now I'm just gonna, go ahead and make a raft and sail on out of here. So, I'll give you a quick overview of the story. You are Zelda, you're Tyrim. You're Tyrim from the little Viking village on the island of Boria. And your dad and all the other dude Vikings have gone missing. They went to go explore the Vale up here, and they haven't been seen in a long time. So as the charismatic and brave Viking boy that you are, you decide to go after them. And now that we have the raft, we're going to go collect 3 items from these 3 islands, because the raft is kind of small and dinky and can't go very far. So we need things to make a bigger boat that'll actually be able to travel further from these 3 islands. So that's going to be our first goal. We can actually do the first 3 islands in whatever order. This one just happens to work out pretty much the best.
You gotta get all the Triforce pearls or whatever it is.
No, that's next.
Okay.
We got some debris spawns. I'll talk about that a little bit later. So of course, when you load in the thing, the most optimal thing is to sit here and get eaten by a shark, because that'll obviously warp you onto the island. And that warps us past all of the bandits on this island, so we don't have to worry about finding them at all. We can just move on past. And none of them will aggro us, so we can just repair this for free. Good minigame.
I remember that in Dark Souls.
Yeah. And there's the NPC that we were supposed to talk to. She was supposed to give us a quest to go beat up the bandits, and then she'd give us a key. But when we picked up the bird's nest in the first area, we picked up a key along with it. And it turns out that keys are universal. So since we still have the key from the first island, we can just go ahead and use the key here, and we never have to interact with her. So that brings us into the first, I guess it's a dungeon of Hamama. It's a pretty small dungeon. But we get the speed boots, and obviously no speedrun is complete without speed boots. So obviously speed boots, you just strap some rockets onto your boots and you run faster. It's very simple Viking design, very classic. This puzzle is actually horrible, and sometimes you just get stuck and fall, but I'm an expert, so it's fine. And we're already pretty much done with this dungeon. We just go up here and pick up the plans for the Mad Goat and roll out. It's actually a cutscene there, but you can just barely skip it and still get the item. And luckily, every time you oh no, well, never mind.
Up to here.
I was going to say every time you quit out, you actually reload your boots so they have full durability again, but I just fill in the water, and that makes them go pop. So that'll lose a couple seconds. Not a huge deal. So you can fast travel whenever you're on a boat or a raft or a boat. So oddly enough, the middle island is the closest to all the other islands. So I'm going to be doing that a lot of the time. And this is a pretty good raft design. So sometimes I like to keep out the umbrella, because for some reason I keep getting wet every time I'm on this raft. Doesn't seem to help at all, though. I still get really wet.
I thought it was a sail.
Maybe.
It's a decker leaf.
Of course.
Ah, yes.
So for the things that we're getting, we got a toolbox from here. We're going to get the plans for the boat here, and we're going to free a ship maker from here. And then once we have the big boat, we get 3 things from here, so we can go to the end of the island. And along the way, we get these random spawns. There's barrels that are good because they give us a speed boost. There's debris, which is horrible because we have to sail around it. Otherwise, it slows us down a whole bunch. There's also these purple plants things, which just hurt us. They don't really matter all that much. And then there's some other pointless ones. I'm also not going to be eaten by a shark here. I'm just going to quit and reload because that spawns us on the island. It's not worth waiting for the shark to eat you for any other island. This guy's a jerk. He actually wants to take all of your materials away from you. So you can just roll around him and ignore him. And there's supposed to be like a little quest here that you do, but I'm just going to go through this window and just ignore the guy who wants to talk to you, and that opens up the bridge that you'd normally have to do a quest for. And this is Rockwell. This is far and away the worst part of the entire game because it's entirely dependent on how the AI reacts to you. It's kind of manipulatable, but not really because the AI is just a big jerk. So I'm going to make speed boots, and I'm going to try to move in a certain way. This is a stealth section, so you see I'm being very stealthy. Oh, please don't eat inputs. Thank you. All right, literally everything's going wrong. Excellent.
That's fine.
So unfortunately, I'm going to get the really slow version. So normally you have to go all the way to the top and then break a crystal, and then the blue wall blocking this door will get destroyed. But if you get a guy to shoot the door while it's closed, it'll actually just destroy the blue wall, and you can just immediately go through. You can, if you manipulate it properly, you can actually go through. Oh, also this is a boss fight, but you can just kind of go around it and not really care. Good fight. And then here I'm going to try to quit out. It may or may not work. I don't really know what controls it. Maybe? All right, it worked. Cool. Otherwise, I just have the death warp. It's just a little bit slower.
Every time you load the game, it looks like it's crashing.
It feels like it's crashing all the time.
That's half the fun.
On some people's computer, it gives load screens. It's just not on these or mine at home because reasons. Whoops. Got the wrong one. All right, so we got 2 of the 3 things. Now we need to move on to the last one, the last of the first 3. So I'll give just, you're probably wondering where I found this game, because this is like a little indie game from like 2014 that nobody's ever heard of. We do this thing called Run Invalid, which is a routing competition, where we break up into teams and we find a game that nobody has ever touched before. Nobody has routed or speedrun or anything. We split up, we wrote the game, we make segmented runs, and we compare them at the end of it. And for the last ESA, we actually got this in with just the promise of it's a routing competition. We don't know how long it'll be or how well it'll go, but hey, let's do it. And we picked this game and another game, which turned out really boring, so we only actually ended up showing this game. And it was really cool, and it was a lot of fun, and I'll probably plug that some more later. So this is Dune. This is another fairly long island. In the middle here, there's the shipbuilder who's all locked up in this cage. You're supposed to go like all the way around and then down inside of the island, and then you can come back up the middle so you can rescue him. That's way too long. I'm gonna go over here, get the sword for later, and I'm gonna get this pot. I'm gonna roll this pot over here, and if all goes well, this pot is gonna get me high. So, oh, nope, didn't set it up right. If we get really good pot, okay, pot is giving me trouble. This is supposed to be 100% consistent, and it is currently not because of reasons. Because the Unity engine is a perfect and flawless being. Normally, if you set it up like this, then it just works first try every time. Oh, no, that's backwards. Where'd it go? There it is. Oh my god, I think it's dropping inputs, because I'm picking up the pot instead of immediately dropping it. Alright, let's try it like this. Nope, that's not working either. I assure you, this is the easiest trick in the game. Just not today. Alright. Come on, pot. I believed in you. And you let me down. I am actually extremely confused now. What? So what's supposed to happen is you get a boost. There we go. Very, very easy.
First try.
First try. And now we need to manipulate the crabs so the crab doesn't bully us. There's a crab here who really likes to knock into you, but if you move a certain way, you can just kind of like keep him out of the way. If he knocks you out of the conversation, then you don't get the quest update. So there we go. And we can roll quit out. The door's still closed. The guy's trapped in there, but it's fine. He's out of the cage. We're done here.
You'll make it.
Yeah, he'll figure it out. And now that we've gotten all the things, we can head back to Boria once again and build ourselves a new boat. Let's go over here. And one nice thing is this guy also gives us the plans to the windsurfer, which is an incredibly broken thing, and I'm really happy he gives it to us. So here's the completely original Do Not Steal boat. Doesn't look like anything else in existence. And we're gonna make our way to the next one of the next major islands. So for the other islands, there's 3 things you need. For the first one that we're going to, we need a spell cast on us that'll let us pass through the mist surrounding the veil. And the other 2 give like a map, or no, it's a bell that lets you get through the maze in here, and a code to open up a door. But those 2 things are fixed, so we actually don't have to go to either of these 2 islands ever. So that's pretty nice. Oh, debris. Okay, this is absolutely awful debris luck so far. We've gotten 1 barrel and like 5 debris. Normally by this time you have like 2 debris. So that's great. So this is it's the longest and the most technical level. There's a barrel. That's nice. And right into the debris. Oh my god, I swear this game.
It's marathon luck.
No, this is just this game. It just does this. And now it gives you a barrel when it's like too late to even matter. So that's nice.
It's a pity barrel.
It's not good enough.
I still can't believe this game was kickstarted.
It made its goal, man. People believed. So we're gonna make a sword because we're gonna have some epic Dark Souls like combat coming up. I hope you're ready. So this whole first area, there's a big gust of wind that blows like every 2 minutes or so, 1.5 minutes, something like that. We don't really have to worry about it too much. It's timed somewhat conveniently with our movement here. Oh yeah, that's a roll jump. If you jump during a certain timing during your roll, then you get a boost with your jump, but it's horribly inconsistent. Also, this web doesn't really exist. You can just go through it. I'll be going through roll jumps, or going for roll jumps like here and there, but they're all just kind of, I hope I get them, because there's no way to make them consistent. So here we have our good buddy the windsurfer. This is the first use of it, not the last. I'm going to push it up against this wall, and then it's just going to kind of fly vertically up it, and you can just skip that little elevator thing. Normally you have to like bring a torch through here, and it gets blown up by the wind, and it's awful, and then when you light that thing, also epic combat. Wow. All right, I won.
Just like Dark Souls.
Just like it's got a stamina bar. It's just like Dark Souls.
I've seen a lot of rolling.
And here's another one. All right, thanks. Based windsurfer. And you can just ignore her conversation as well. Make some speed boots. And it's very important here that you stay in the light and stay on the path, because there are spooky things out in this forest, and it's very dangerous if you stray from the path. Very dangerous, as you can plainly see. So, definitely do not stray. Look, the screen's getting slightly spooky. Oh no.
Oh man.
Alright, here we have probably the hardest section, just in what goes into it. So here, just need to unlock some doors. So the next use of the windsurfer just kind of builds wherever you happen to be looking. So if you just like look over here and build a windsurfer, then you'll just build it on the other side of the door, and you can just use it through the door. This is the easiest trick in the game. Literally everything's going wrong, of course. Alright, how much material? 35. Alright. I have enough for another windsurfer, but I'm going to quit and reload because having one there usually messes up the positioning of placing another. Let's quit and reload to despawn the one that I just made. Unfortunately, that means I will have to grind a little bit more resources later on. So here, just go right through that door. Do I have enough? Yeah, I have enough for hang glider. So coming up here are the crushers. They don't seem that scary, but they're actually the most scary thing in the entire game. So these things, sometimes they just decide to skip cycles, and they'll just immediately go down and crush you, and it's awful. Anyway, here we need to quit and reload to respawn this resource crate. So this will just take a little bit, so you can read some donations. If you want. Oops. How many do I have? 26, yeah. Fortunately, I only need like 35, so it's not actually going to take long. One more. Alright. I'm also going to make a backup save because failing this is really bad. So, copy over here. So this is a long auto-scroller in front of me. You have to like ride that platform forwards. Instead, I'm going to use my good friend the windsurfer once again. So I'm going to place this over here. Just get slightly further back. Positioning is pretty specific. Now I'm going to jump through the door and slide across here. And there we go. And conveniently that chest has, oh god, no!
Oh.
I was holding back, but the roll killed me. Oh, kill me. Alright, we're doing it again then. What was I saying about the crushers being the worst things in the game? Alright. Luckily, this trick is totally easy, and I'll get it first try every time. I didn't get it first try every time. I lied.
60% of the time, every time.
This trick is actually really finicky. If your positioning is off slightly, then you'll just kind of get stuck on the wall and not really go anywhere, and it's awful. And positioning it is kind of annoying. I'm just going to ride it over here. Back slightly. Nope, that's too far. Alright, that should work. I got stuck on it again. Thanks, game. I can't even remember how long the autoscroll takes, but it's a pretty significant amount of time. So this definitely still saves time, don't worry about it. Oh my god. Now I'm just rushing. Oh, I just loaded up the save again. We can do some donations here while I attempt this some more.
Alrighty, we got $5 from Harvard that says, Best of luck to Dr. T-Chops on the Wind Waker run. Can't wait for more Skyrim 100% speed runs. Shoutouts to donation readers and cabbages. We got $20 from Straffic that says, had to donate during Dr. T-Chops run since he's one of my favorite speedrunners. Good luck going fast. This goes to Runner's Choice. We got $10 from Studio that says, holy moly, it's the Dr. T-Chops. Sad I'm not there. Can't be a cornerstone for your run, but I'm confident you can navigate Link and the Dragon Boat to the Triforce in record time and save Zelda or something.
Or something.
I love something.
There we go. All right. I'm going to not roll around that corner. I think... See, normally I do it like that, and it just happened to, like... Oh, yeah. See, there it, like, skips the cycle sometimes. It's supposed to stop the end, but... Crushers are awful. Anyway. Now we have an exciting boss fight. Exciting Dark Souls combat-style boss fight. This is one of the few unskippable cutscenes in the game. It just kind of flies around. It's really silly. So you see there's 4 crystals. You need to destroy the crystals, and then she becomes vulnerable, and you smack her a bunch. But we're going to do kind of a neat strategy to do a 2-cycle. So your weapons have durability, so I need to make a new one here. And I'm going to get her to attack the crystal, so I don't have to worry about killing it. And then there's some really intense combat, Dark Souls-esque. Really difficult and engaging gameplay here to stun lock her.
These frame perfect inputs.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah. So there's a stamina bar, and it turns out just like waiting until you have enough stamina to attack is the perfect timing to just stun lock her. So you can just literally mash click and just keep her there. Occasionally she does like just kind of decide not to get stun locked anymore. Oh, she landed really quick. That's mildly annoying. Should be fun. But yeah. If she actually does decide not to get stun locked, then she's actually really annoying to fight because she just blocks a lot and then attacks you. Oh, and she did it, of course. Alright, this is going to have to be a 3-cycle. Because, why not? Everything else is going wrong this run. That hasn't happened to me in like months, so that's cool. Every time I think I've figured out this game, oh, she died. Alright. Yeah. Good fight. Alright, so it turns out that was actually like an evil god that had taken the place of the good god that was ruling over this place. So, this guy tells us that the actual real god is in hiding, and we've interacted with her before. That's a complete lie. We never did. We completely ignored her. But we will go back to her. And since we never actually interact with her the first time or the second time, the game's not really sure what to do, so it just keeps spawning in more copies of her. So now there's going to be 3 of her over here. Also, these are all the bandits. Huh? Oh.
Hello.
So there's this first, whoops, don't fall. Oh, okay. So there's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. 3 copies of the same NPC. This is the one that we actually need. She's going to cast a spell on us, which will let us traverse the fog surrounding the veil, which is pretty nice. And that's the only actual required item to get into the veil. So yeah, let's make our way off to the final place. So it's just one more nice boat sailing section. So talk a little more about Run Invalid. We've done this a bunch of times. This was like our 5th or so. They haven't all been great. There's been some terrible ones, but I think this one was like the best example of taking a game and like just really finding out cool stuff to do with it. Oh, nice. Actually getting barrels now. All right, cool. So we ended up showing this off at ESA. We had most of the people who actually worked on it were there. So we had really good commentary over, like, of course, the debris. Really good commentary over, like, what goes into routing games and breaking games and finding all that stuff. So if you're interested in checking out that kind of process and not just, like, you know, what you normally see, like grinding for world record, then make sure to check out the ESA Run Invalid routing competition featuring this game. It's pretty cool. So it can actually spawn in debris right here at the very end if it really wants to. It actually didn't. I'm surprised. So over there is the maze. You're supposed to get an item. I think it's a bell. You ring the bell and it shows you which way to go. It's fixed also, so you can just memorize where to go, but going through the maze is really, really slow. It takes a very long time. So I'm actually going to go over here instead and just crash into this wall. And I'm going to make a backup save since literally everything has gone wrong. Even though this is a very easy trick. Alright, I'm going to make a new hang glider. So normally you can't build while you're in the air, but if you pause the game and then open up your build menu, you can. And then you can build the raft in the wall and just kind of go through the wall with it and just kind of sail on outside. So all that out there is the actual Vale. Out here is just a big pile of nothing, and we're just going to go around it. Even though the raft is way slower than the big boat, this is still significantly faster than going through the middle. So this is actually our last sailing section. It's just our nice little journey around. So we have another minute or so of sailing if you want to do some last donations.
Alrighty, we got $5 from Will17 that says, "Greetings from Down Under. Good to see a mix of well-known games and some not-so-well-known games in the Games Done Quick Spotlight at AGDQ. Keep up the good work. Together we can beat cancer. Let's see some more exciting Dark Souls combat from drtchops."
Oh, we will. Don't worry.
We got $5 from J5 that says, "Long-time watcher, first time with a disposable income of my own. Obviously, this is the block to spend it on." We got $25 from Anonymous that says, "Been watching HDQ now for 3 years and have enjoyed every single minute of it. Loving the awful games block. Been a long time since I've laughed this much. Donation goes to Announcer's Choice."
Alright, so over here is, so that was the whole maze that we finally got around. Over here is a big door that you had to enter in the code in from the other island. And then there's this really big, like, pretty much empty hallway that you have to walk through. There's, like, some lore or something. You can talk to ghosts or something like that. And then this giant black square is the load zone. So we're coming up on the final boss. And time will be when I beat the final boss. First we need to make sure we're prepared with some supplies, make sure I have enough. I'll make a save here as well, just in case. Yeah, I got enough. So, the enemies of this game were like stone mages or something, I don't know, generic. Actually, how much? Oh, I have 10. I don't know if that's enough, but it should be fine. They're like mages with the power of stone or something. So, of course, the actual boss is just going to be a big, basically stone golem that's going to form around us. But we're just going to kind of like ignore it and just run past. Oh no, you jerk! There was nothing I could do about that. The debris there is completely random, and having that piece there to actually block you is incredibly rare. So this is the most marathon run I've ever marathoned, so that's good. short bit to read, and I got stuck in the pushing animation again. See, now it's not even close to in my way. So it's like forming around that crystal up there. We're just gonna kind of completely ignore it. You're supposed to go around and beat up all the mages, but we're also gonna ignore them as well. Because Tyrim's, despite all the Dark Souls combat, Tyrim's kind of a pacifist. And why would you want to fight when you can just make more windsurfers? So that's what I'm going to do instead. I'm just going to make a windsurfer and just go around and just ignore the boss completely. And here's our dad, locked in this cage. And time. Whoo, lad. So even though there's like the giant rock lord thing behind us, we totally rescued our dad because we opened the door, so it's fine. And yeah, we saved everybody, and I believe the incentive for the extra run got met.
It did.
All right, so this is a short cutscene. We can continue with that afterwards. I'd just like to thank everybody that that participated in the run invalid. So if you go on the leaderboards, there's just like a whole bunch of names on there, like all the mods, and then there's links to the original runs that we did and everybody who worked on them. So make sure to check that out. Check out the ESA broadcast. It's pretty cool. And any percent is a run I wish I could show off, but it is incredibly inconsistent. Like, if you thought that everything that I just did was inconsistent, that is absolutely nothing compared to any percent in this game. Also, the credits is just like an actual level, which is kind of nice. And you can play with this little windsurfer and neat little thing here.
Oh.
Now I'm a windsurfer. This is what I truly wish to be. All right, so you notice that over here, there's a little black doorway up there. And if you go through here, it says head back to Boria. And this actually puts you right at the very start of the game. You didn't see it because I immediately roll quit out, but you spawn like right here. This is the tutorial area. The actual, like, this is up here. So you can see behind the waterfall there's an actual black area right there. So that's the actual, that's an actual load zone up there. So we can actually just go right there. I just need to copy a save real quick. It's like a minute. So, real quick. Of course. Whoops. Okay. So it's going to start a little bit similar. Oh yeah, settings are different. Oh well. Just make sure I have a copy of this. So, I don't know if we're doing a timer, but just go if it is. So unfortunately, any percent is really not good. So we're going to do New Game Plus, and that just means that I have a whole bunch of resources and I have all the blueprints that I already had. So we're going to get started pretty much the same way with our little sheep. Give me your little sheep. Oh, I'm stuck in a pushing animation again. So I'm going to actually go over here. Also, I never mentioned it, but pausing just kind of stops your fall momentum. And I need to go over here. Kind of, if I do this correctly. Yeah, there we go. That's some nice height. So I'm going to make a hang glider, because I want to get over there. Let's get over here. That's probably the most height I've ever gotten off a boost. So this is the tutorial area down there. You can see. Oh, there's the waterfall. yeah, this is the right spot. So if I just like make a windsurfer here, and make a hang glider, this is just gonna clip me down, and then I can just go right into the load zone, and it puts me in the credits. And that's how fast the game can actually be beaten. It's a little weird. There's a couple different ways of getting into that load zone. They all kind of behave differently. So this one, it puts you in here and it plays the credits. With another way that people found, it plays the ending cutscene, and it doesn't actually play the credits. It just shows the logo the whole time. So it's a little bit weird. I don't know how that load zone works, but yeah, that's Cornerstone. Everything went terribly wrong, as is expected with this game. So I hope you enjoyed it.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Dr. T Chops, for that awesome run. We got a couple more donations